The Science Lab. It's a place we've all been, and we've all got our Bunsen burner license. We've all spilt something. We also probably didn't clean it up. But now that I'm in uni, the Science Labs, there's a lot more pressure involved in them because I'm actually working with chemicals that would cause chemical burns. I'm working with like blood samples and stuff like that. And so there's a lot of pressure in the lab to not spill stuff and also to actually get good results so I can write a good prac report. So today I'm bringing you the UFC lab partner tier list where I'm ranking UFC fighters on how safe I would feel with them and also are we going to be getting good results with them. So in the carries tier, these people, they just take over the experiment. The experiment goes perfectly. They also just explain the method clearly to you so you know what you need to do and everything goes well. The decent tier helps out where they're needed, try their best to follow the prac. Just want to get it over and done with. And I feel like if I was going to be in this tier list, I would put myself in the decent tier. I don't like to take over anymore because I've done that before and I've mucked up experiments. This year, I would get results that were like 1,000 times higher than they should have been. So I ended up just having to take the teacher results. So I'm trying to steer clear from taking over now. I just want to play my role in the experiment and get it over and done with, get my results so I can write my prac. If you're in the does nothing tier, they just sit there doing nothing, offer no help, and we'll just take your results when you finish. And yeah, last one, we've got safety hazard. They'll just start mixing chemicals, playing around with the Bunsen burner, do shit like kick your legs when you're pouring dangerous chemicals and you just spill it. And they probably wouldn't even tell you if they spilled a chemical, and next thing you know, you're running your arm through it. So we're going to get straight into this list. But first, thank you for joining me here for the debut of the Slim MMA YouTube channel. I hope you had a great Christmas and a great New Year and are having a great day today. So I'm going to get straight into it. Does nothing. I have Bryce Mitchell, and that's because I think he would just start yapping about a poster on the wall that had the earth being round, and he'd just start yapping about how it's flat. Or he'd say something else, and yeah, I just know he would not help. He wouldn't even like the science lab because he doesn't believe in science or something, and yeah, he'd be yapping about the earth being flat the whole time and would offer no help. I'm going to go into safety hazard now. I've got Gene Silver. Like, I wouldn't need someone barking in my ear when I'm trying to pour a chemical or a blood sample into a small container. Like, I just don't need someone barking. I could see him mixing shit he shouldn't be, and also just, he would also offer no help, Gene Silver. I feel like he would not know what he's doing, and Gene Silver, safety hazard for sure. I would not feel safe having him as a lab partner. Next up in the does nothing, I've got Ian Gary. So Ian Gary, he would just be sitting in a corner just observing like he likes to do in his home life. Just sitting in the corner, just watching, seeing what you're doing. He would probably take your results and would offer no help. So Ian Gary does nothing. I think that's a fair spot for him to go. But anyway, for our first decent, I've got Steve Erceg. I actually think he'd do his role in the experiment. Like, he wouldn't want to take over. He's kind of quiet, but you'd work together and you might get the right results. You might get it wrong, but I think it'd be a good vibe with him. So I'm going to put Steve Erceg in the decent here. Going to go back to does nothing. Got Sean Strickland. Again, similar to Bryce Mitchell, would just be yapping about something else and just not helping. He probably doesn't also believe in science, wouldn't read the method. So, yeah, you're just getting no help with Sean Strickland. But he would be yapping in your ear about guns and women's rights and shit like that. So, Strickland, similar to Bryce Mitchell, would do nothing in an experiment. Another safety hazard, Dan Hooker. And I just know Dan Hooker would purposely make you spill shit. You'd be pouring something and he would purposely bump you so you spill it. That's the vibe I get from Dan Hooker, and he would enjoy it. He'd be laughing. He'd be laughing while you've just spilled chemicals all over you and you have to hop in the shower in front of everyone. And listen, that's the vibe we get from Dan Hooker, and I wouldn't feel safe with him as my partner. So Dan Hooker, I'm going to put him as a safety hazard. Another does nothing. I got Moicano, very similar again to Bryce Mitchell and Ian Gary. Would just be yapping about like government conspiracies and all this shit and would just not help at all. And even if he did help, I wouldn't trust him to do the right thing anyway, and you'd get the wrong result. So Moicano does nothing, would be yapping about random shit, and you're getting no help from Moicano. When I go for the first carries, I've got Peter Yan. I really struggle to find people who carry for this tier list, but I think Peter Yan could be that guy. Just quiet, he'd get in there, you'd still be reading your method, he would have finished it, and boom, he's already started. He's already started the experiment. You ask him if you can help him. I'm not sure if he understands me, doesn't respond back, and just does the experiment. At the end of it, you look at results, bang, perfect. Like identical to what the teacher got, and happy days, I'm running a good prac. So Peter Yan, it gives me that vibe that he would just take over and, yeah, you get a good result. So Peter Yan in the carries. Going for another decent, I've got Michael Chandler. Chandler just gives me the vibe that he would just, I feel like he just would love reading the method and just doing it. He'd take his time. Well, I'm not sure if he'd take his time, but Michael Chandler would be like, what do you need me to do? And I'd tell him and he'd just do it. And like, you could just tell him to do anything and he'd do it for you. He'd absolutely love being in the science lab. That's the vibe we get from Michael Chandler. He might muck it up, but he would love being in there and he would love following the method and getting the results. So Michael Chandler in the decent tier. Going for another does nothing, I've got Cody Garbrandt. And I feel like there would be a one-off experiment where Cody Garbrandt just carries. It's it's something he likes and he just does the experiment for you and gets perfect results. Just like, you know, how we are 50-45 Dominic Cruz. He'll just have one-off performance where just dominates. And then other days he'll come in, he'll look at the method, might not be interested, and you're probably getting nothing from him. That's the vibe I get from Cody Garbrandt in the lab. Going for another safety hazard, I've got Sean O'Malley. And Sean, he gives me the vibe to start mixing chemicals. Or he'll just be high, and then he will just start pouring shit you shouldn't be doing, and it becomes a safety hazard. That's the vibe we get from Sean O'Malley. The vibe will be good. I'll have a great time. I'll get very bad results, and honestly, it probably would be dangerous. So that's why Sean O'Malley, got to put him in a safety hazard. We're going to go for another decent here. Got Robert Whittaker, similar vibe to Steve Erceg. I feel like just quiet, wants to get out of the lab, just get the results so he can start doing his prac report. You do the lab, you work together, you get it done. You might get the right results, but it'd be close enough. So Robert Whittaker, I'm going to put him in the decent tier. For another does nothing, I've got Nate Diaz, and I just get the vibe that Nate Diaz, he's probably not even turning up. He's enrolled in the course, but he wouldn't turn up to the pracs. So that's the vibe I get from Nate Diaz. And then he might ask you for the results, and he might just not. He'd probably submit like a ChatGPT one, or he doesn't even submit anything at all, and you're wondering why he's even in the course. So that's the vibe I get from Nate Diaz if he was my lab partner. So it would just be me solo, and that wouldn't be good because I'd muck up the prac probably. For safety hazard again, I've got Marab, and it's not Marab's intent would be good, but I feel like he wouldn't read the method, or he'd just scan over it and he'd start doing it. Next thing you know, he's mixing stuff he shouldn't be, and everyone's evacuating. That's how I feel it would go if Marab was my partner. We'd also get very bad results if we did finish it, and yeah, it's not trying to be, but it's just the vibe I get from Marab. So Marab in the safety hazard. To round off this list, I struggle to find people who carry. This guy's probably not going to do it, but I'm going to put Jiri, Prohaska in the carries anyway. I just know it would be a great time, which is, that's good. It would be a good time. And I could see him just fluking it and you get perfect results. Or you're getting results that are borderline maybe 1,000 times too high. And at the end of the day, you're just taking the teacher results anyway. So at least it'd be a good time. And you might get the right results, but it would be a good time. That's all I'm going to go with. He does have a bachelor's degree, I'm pretty sure. It's got nothing to do with science, but, you know, I think Yuri, he'd try his best. And that's all I can ask from Yuri. He's not going to be a safety hazard. You're going to have a great time, and your results are probably going to be wrong, but that's okay, because you just get the teachers anyway. So that's going to round off this list. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this one, there's 2 other videos I posted for the debut of this one. So if you haven't watched them, go give them a watch. And I hope you all had a good time listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.